Hello, everyone. Welcome to Real Women Love Sports. This is Tiffany.
It's Matt.
And welcome to my birthday weekend. We are celebrating my birthday, the NFL, the NBA, and guess what? The refs are back. That's reason enough to make a cake.
Yeah, I mean, and the good thing is the refs will control the flow of the game, so we don't have to worry about these random calls, not missing calls, things like that. So I know everybody's glad to have the refs back, especially the
So,
players.
yeah, if you missed Thursday's game, which you probably did not, I know it was a Browns game. It would have been an easy game to boycott, but everybody came back because the refs were back. And even though it was a Browns game, it pulled in record ratings. Why? Because it is the first game that the official NFL refs were back. They got a standing ovation. Um, Cheers broke out as they walked out of the tunnel, flipped the coin, and the game was on. So we are definitely glad to have the refs back. Uh, Definitely one of the big things with the refs, President Barack Obama decided to put his 2 cents in, and I think that kind of helps.
I mean, we know the president. He's big into sports, especially when it comes to college basketball and I mean just any sports in particular. He has to put his 2 cents in. He's just as much of a fan as the rest of us.
Yes. So, you know what? We got a lot of questions about, we know the refs are back, but definitely, especially after that Packers game, we were definitely bombarded with questions about what is the big deal? Why are the refs gone in the first place? Blah, 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 blah. I mean, we know they were doing their own little lockout. We had the scabs, so to speak, crossing the picket line and doing whatever to come back. But the deal that the NFL refs made actually was based on three major things: their salary, their pension plan, and in my mind, their job security. And the job security thing, or at least what they felt was job security, is what they lost out on. But they got a pay increase. The average ref made about 149,000 a year. Now the average ref salary is going to be 173,000 a year. So all of you aspiring NFL players or bench warmers that just really love the game, you might want to aspire to be a ref and make $173,000 a year. But uh, they have that because it's now rising to $205,000 a year.
I think it's gonna make a lot of people rethink what they're gonna go to school for.
Their career. We have teachers, doctors, lawyers who don't even make $200,000 a year, but our NFL refs make $200,000 a year. Whatever. Uh, that's what's going on. So they got that. Then they have their current pension plan. They wanted to change the refs' pension plan. They got it fixed where it's not going to change. They're going to stay on their current pension plan until they reach at least 20 years of service. And this contract is in effect for the next 8 years. So we will not see another replacement ref situation at least for another 8 years. But one of the main things that the NFL refs were trying to do that they kind of lost out on, but I think they were wrong in this area in the first place, was they didn't want the NFL to be allowed to bring in new refs to train during the season. So one of the things that they did, beginning with the 2013 season, the NFL will have the option to hire on a number of officials to work year round. And then the NFL is also going to retain additional officials for training and development and assign those officials to work games. So those replacement refs that you saw, uh, I don't even think it would be them. We talked before about how they were flag football refs and Division III refs and JUCO refs. That they still don't have the caliber of training that the NFL would use to hire an actual ref. So we will still see the replacement ref, but it will be your D1 refs. It'll be people that are actually aspiring to have this as a career versus somebody that thinks it's their last shot to get on the field and do something. But what they're going to do is start hiring those people on, giving them the correct training. They will be training year round, and then you may see a new ref in on a game that, you know, the actual NFL refs will be there, but they'll be training them so that they have actual game experience. So is it a chance that it may be a couple more bad calls, whatever? Maybe, but I think they'll be corrected because they'll still have the regular refs there to intervene, and they'll probably kind of take a back seat to them and kind of what their flow is. So that's it. NFL refs, they're back. Strike's over. 8 years.
Well, give us a call. Let us know what you think. How do you feel about the NFL refs being back? Give us a call, 805-727-7099.
So one of the highlights today in the NFL world was that Panthers-Falcons game. That was an amazing game. It was Carolina, the final score was 28-30, but the game was held within like the last 53 seconds of the game with that nice 60-yard pass from Ryan to White, and then we saw the 40-yard field goal. So they won. But the highlight of it for me was the fantasy portion of it, because there was this fantasy football play. Well, there's a football player that I wanted on my fantasy team, and it was my quarterback, and he kind of got snaked. His name was Cam Newton. And if anybody watched the show last week, you heard that I was supposed to get Cam Newton in a trade for Peyton Manning.
Guess what? I never got that request for the
I
trade.
was supposed to get Cam Newton
My email
in a
does not
trade
have
for Peyton Manning.
A trade request. But and
on air, I was told I was gonna get Cam for Peyton Manning.
And you have to send that
guess
request.
What?
And
guess
nobody
what?
sent that request. Nobody sent the request. I don't have anything in my email saying you have a trade request for so and so. So I didn't have that. I looked at it early today. There's nothing there.
The point is, I didn't get Cam, and somebody benched Cam. And what did Cam do today?
Well, the reason why I benched Cam is because I have Cam and I also have Chris Ponder. Well, Ponder has been doing better than Cam, and I'm unable to move him up to an active role without switching both. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let me go ahead and move Cam down the bench, because Cam wasn't doing what I expected. Now all of a sudden, Ponder wants to do 6 points, and then Cam wants to do 30. So just imagine how upset I am.
Right, imagine how upset he is right now. I'm a little bit upset because I didn't get Cam. I feel a little bit better because he benched him. And I think it's funny that he missed out on 30 points being benched. I'm still waiting to see what Peyton's going to do this week. So we'll see. Because I got to play Peyton now, right? Right. But, you know, the Atlanta fans, I mean, obviously, clearly you're elated that the Falcons are starting off undefeated right now. They got a perfect season going.
And I think it's only a few teams. I think the Texans are one. I think there's a third one. I can't think of them right now. But and for whatever reason now, I heard that Vegas is actually predicting Houston to go to the Super Bowl.
That'll be interesting. I have the Texans defense, so I'm good with that. I'm not really good with them going to the Super Bowl because Dallas needs to go to the Super Bowl, but I'm good with them making a good run for it. But you know what? We had some interesting conversations about this Falcons game from our studio audience. What's going on over there, studio audience? I'm going to invite someone who doesn't really want to be on camera, but her voice can be heard. Rachel, let's come here for a second. Come give me your thoughts about this Atlanta. Woo, Rachel, studio audience, yay!
Can I just sit over here? I don't have to be seen.
You don't have to be seen. Rachel does not want to be seen, but Rachel, what were your thoughts on that Atlanta game?
Oh, that was amazing, the end of that game. I couldn't believe it.
That game was crazy. It was that, what was it, 60 yard kept reception, and then that 40-yard field goal. Yep. But you are not an Atlanta fan. You just enjoyed a good game,
I have
huh?
a friend's dad who used to play for the Falcons, so.
Really?
Yes, in high school we were good friends, and So it was like a shrine to his dad in the house, and very intimidating when you walk in the house and he walks in. What are you all doing?
So what is your team?
My team?
Yes.
Well, I have a couple of teams, but of course, my nephew is a Cowboy fan, so you have to go for Cowboys, and my home is Phoenix, so I have to go for the Cardinals.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh. Everybody, you can send your condolences to Rachel. Everyone loves sports. You can go ahead and give us a call if you want to tell her how sorry you are for her. That she's a. Oh, I'm sorry.
So, you know,
805-727-7099 if you want to tell Rachel how you feel about her football team. Just
you know
let
what?
you know.
Last episode we talked about the bet. So
Yes,
I
the
think
bet.
I found somebody to do a bet with me. It's my cousin Charles. He actually lives in Oak Cliff, which is Dallas. He's a Bears fan, and where we're from, mostly if you're not a Bears fan, then you are a Colts fan. But I've been a Cowboys fan since I was 9. So if you recall, the bet is when the Cowboys win, he's going to have to wear a Cowboys jersey. And then if the Bears win, then I'll wear a Bears jersey.
Well, you know what? I'm going to pull in another diehard Cowboys fan on this. I've already given my opinion, so. But, Dre, studio audience, let's go. Come on over here, Dre. Come here, Dre. Hold on. Come here, Dre. So, Dre is a huge Cowboys fan. Dre, tell me again what your Cowboys ritual is. Dre will not leave the house if a Cowboys game is on. He will not come to your Cowboys party. He will not go to your sports bar. He will not hang out with you. You cannot even come and watch the game with him. Dre wants to be by himself where you are not interfering with his vision and hearing of this game. He is like in the zone, focused. So what will you be doing tomorrow?
Most likely I will be at my house with the doors locked. Gotta have my DeMarcus Ware jersey on. Gotta have the TV probably all the way up blasting. And watching the Cowboys game.
Watching the Cowboys game. So we talked about me and you had a conversation about the bet, the Aaron Rodgers bet that happened with Boyz II Men and the jersey thing. And then I told you about the thing he wants to do with the Cowboys game. He is actually seeking out any, offensive rival to the Cowboys. So if they're playing, he is going to wear, if the Cowboys loses, the jersey. And this is not just for the Bears game. We're going to try and do the rest of the season as an ongoing thing. What do you think about that? Do you have enough faith in your team that you will say, I will wear a rival's jersey if they lose?
Yes. I think I don't go into a game thinking that we're just going to lose one game. So I would expect all of us Cowboy fans to think we're going to win every game. So I ain't got no problem doing that.
And see, that's the thing about Cowboys fans. They're really hard on their team. And the Dallas teams, period, they're really hard on their players, really hard on the team. I mean, when the going is good, they're with it. But when they lose, it's just they point fingers, and that's the thing about Dallas, especially the Cowboys, and even to find somebody who is willing to do something like that would be awesome. So yes. I think next is what? Saints game after that?
Saints game after that.
I have nothing but Saints fans at work. So
it's gonna be a good season. We're gonna get to see. Here's what I want you to tell me right now, who is the Cowboys player that you say to watch? Like, we are going to win and we are going to make a difference because of who?
The Bears game?
No, period.
Oh, of course, DeMarcus Ware. He's by far the best, in my opinion, the best defensive pass rusher there is in the game. And without him on the defensive side of the ball, it would bring the level down to the Cowboys. And it's because of him that they do really good. So
what are your predictions for the game? What's going to be the final score?
I think it's probably going to be good 28-14.
28-14. Cowboys. What are your thoughts? Give me your player.
My player?
Your player. We are going to be great because of.
You know what? I'm gonna have to go with Ogletree.
Ogletree.
He stepped up, and I think he's to the point now where I'm gonna show you guys what it's about. You know,
Okay.
and he really stepped up that first game, and he's been showing that. And I actually think that he's going to be Pro Bowl this year.
Hey, Rachel, we are going to be great because
I have to agree with Drake.
it's Marcus. We're going defense this year. I'm saying Dez. I am a Dez fan,
Yeah,
and Dez
yeah,
is doing
yeah.
it. And we have some more studio audience. Scoot over 1 second. Come here, right here, you, Anthony. All right, here we go. Other guests from my studio audience. You gotta scoot up. They can't see you. There you go. So you are also, if you check out his attire, there's the Cowboy star. You are also a Dallas fan, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and we are gonna be great because Dez is the player to watch. Okay, so here's my take on this. Dez Bryant. Dez has had a very on the field, great. He's just the only thing we've had is some plague problems. He's had some injury problems. He only has injury problems when we use him as a return. When he returns the ball, he gets injured. He's also been known to kind of psych himself out that way. I think he gets injured that way because he says, I can't return the ball. If I get returned the ball, I'm going to get injured. And because of that, he gets injured. It's kind of a cycle. Dez has went through a maturity growth this year. We know that he's sought to get a mentor. We know that he is going through some rough family things.
He got rid of his agent.
He got rid of that Drew. Oh, Drew. You know I hate Drew. He got rid of Drew, which to me I think was one of the biggest moves he's made, because what a lot of people don't know is they fault the player for what their agent does. The agent is like Jiminy Cricket. The agent is sitting on your shoulder and telling you what to say and what to do and what. And all the players are little puppets when it comes to what they do and how they manage their persona with the team. When they say, I'm not coming to training camp, when they say, I need more money, I'm worth more this, is because they have first went to their management team and said, what do you think? And someone has pumped their head so high that they think they can sit out for a full training season and not come back and get some money and not have to pay fines and renegotiate their contract before it's up for, 2 or 3 years. They do stupid things when they have stupid agents. Dez had a stupid agent. And he did not have an agent that guided him in the manner to say, you need to seek some kind of mentorship. We need to get you talking to somebody. You've had some hard times in your family life. You need to seek help. He didn't have that in Drew because all Drew was worried about was getting more money and getting some money. So now that he's changed that, and now that he's seeking mentorship, I think Dez is going to be phenomenal. Now that Dez doesn't get in his own head and psych himself out, we saw last week what he can do returning a ball. So, Dez is great. Dez is going to be good. What I want to hear is, what do people think of Cole Beasley? What is your thoughts on Cole Beasley?
The wide receiver?
Yes.
Let me think. Probably nothing. He hasn't really done a whole
He
lot
hasn't
this
done
year.
anything. He made a lot of noise during training camp.
Yeah, he did. I was pretty excited. I was watching the NFL draft, when they were drafting him. And I started watching some film on him from Virginia Tech, and I was actually a little excited because of Robinson going to Jacksonville, and there was a whole bunch of questions about Overtree coming in, and so I had a little higher expectations for him to come in and be that Robinson guy, but Overtree stepped up, so it's not.
But see,
Right.
everybody makes a deal of his height, but he's not the only short receiver in the league.
Oh,
I mean, there's a few of them who actually do pretty well. He's
not the only short receiver in the league, but he made so much static coming in about the comparisons and I'm better than this and I'm better than that. And then come preseason games when he wasn't playing, then he was like, I quit.
Yeah.
So he made a lot of noise coming in, but I had high hopes for him too. So high that Cole Beasley is on my fantasy league
And how many
team.
points did you have for him?
Cole Beasley has not even been in a game yet. He is not doing anything. He's not making any noise. He was like marked as being out for a while, but there was no reason why. So I think they kind of put him kind of a a waiver status to free up some space. I think they're doing something like that. But I don't know. We're gonna have to figure that out. Thank you so much, Driver, for talking Cowboys with us. Appreciate it. All right, so we are going to move over for the 10 minutes we have left and talk real quick about the NBA. The NBA season is started. You know what that means? That means I'm hyped. I'm ready. I want my NBA season to go. I'm ready to see the Lakers. I'm ready to see Dwight Howard as a Laker, and that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Dwight Howard as a Laker. He is aiming to play the Lakers opener, and I can't wait to see that. He is off his back surgery. He's been, kind of rehabbing for 5 months now. He's got the jersey. He's doing the appearances. He's making his face and his name known. So Dwight Howard has indicated that he is trying to be up and ready for the Lakers game opener.
Unfortunately, you know what that means, right?
It means that the Lakers are going to be
No,
awesome.
that means, unfortunately, I'll have to get the Howard jersey we talked about. So
that is not unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
I will relish the day I see him in a Lakers jersey. That will give me so much pride. But
and I think because of that statement, I think I'll put it off as long as I can.
It won't be that long. As a matter of fact, if the Lakers win their game opener, and when Howard does that first dunk as a Laker, he will have on a Howard jersey. I guarantee that. That's my guarantee. And I'll make sure I take that picture.
I'm even
but
more
it is going
about
to
that
be
than the bet.
it is going to be amazing. This is going to be the basketball season to watch. We've had a lot of moves. We know, like I said, that Howard is with the Lakers. We had Ray Allen go to Miami. I am very excited to see Ray Allen go to Miami. I am going to let all you Mavericks fans once again know that the Mavericks are not in contender status right now. I am sorry. They did not make the moves necessary. They did not do the necessary things. And frankly, if you want them to be there, you need to tell their owner to back off of Shark Tank a little bit and go back into Mavericks mode. He used to play his team. He said he managed his team like a fantasy team. He used to make good moves. And now I think he's kind of wrapped up in a lot of other things, and he's not doing what he needs to do. So the Mavericks is going to be an interesting season to see how the Mavericks perform, because they have a very old team, and they're not going to be in contender status for at least another 2 years while they're building. But while we're talking about older players, let's move on to Tracy McGrady. So we saw Tracy McGrady last year as a Hawk. He was in Atlanta. And now he has just tried out for the San Antonio Spurs. So Tracy McGrady is trying to get his contract signed yet again and kind of find his place in this NBA world.
And it's a shame when you have a player who was the caliber of Tracy McGrady to now just pretty much he's like a nomad. He's roaming around trying to find a home somewhere. And I mean it's unfortunate when you hear about players who it happens to, but at the same time you have to think, what is their backup plan? Because you hear it
right, but when you see that, that's when I think you have players who fail to plan. And when I say fail to plan, Tracy McGrady was amazing. He was T-Mac. I mean, who didn't love T-Mac back in the day? But he got plagued with some injuries. He went down there. He was supposed to be this dynamic duo with Yao Ming, who is another floater. He has his own team now, but that's neither here nor there. So Yao Ming came in and was supposed to be this huge, big, phenomenal star. And Tracy McGrady was there as his right-hand man. It was like the new version of Shaq and Kobe. And they both got plagued with some injuries, and now you see Yao Ming kind of faded away, and Tracy McGrady is roaming. And it's sad when you see somebody just that hops from team to team. But does that mean that this is an end for Tracy McGrady?
I mean, I guess his trial is going to determine that. I mean, because if you've never played sports, then you would know that once you have an injury, that injury is going to reoccur. Especially as a professional athlete, you don't have the necessary time to recoup and recover, it's going to plague you again. It may not be noticeable. It may not happen again for another couple of years, but it's going to reoccur. And it's a shame that to even know that you can have an injury that's going to be a career-ending injury.
Well, I mean, you have players. There are the players that do move around constantly year to year. Most players that are high caliber, you do see stay put. But as you try to build that, you do see players bounce from year to year. One of those players being Matt Barnes.
Not this one, the one that plays for the Lakers.
No, the one who plays for the Clippers.
Oh, he's in the
Matt
Clippers.
Barnes
Right,
is now a Clipper. That's what I mean. Matt Barnes has moved so much. The Lakers was the only team, I believe, he stayed put for 2
Orlando,
years.
wasn't he? He did 2 years for
No,
Orlando.
he did 1 year with Orlando. He's been on a just constant moving stint. When he first got to the NBA, he got waived and went to the D-League. So he was picked up, waived, D-League, lifted, pulled up, picked up,
and it's a
moved
shame because
around.
it's hard for me to get a Matt Barnes jersey when I don't know which jersey to get. Like when I'm ready to get a Lakers jersey,
You don't get a Matt Barnes jersey. That's how you answer that. No one wants to walk around
I've
with
been
a
a fan
Matt
of Matt
Barnes
Barnes
jersey.
since he was in college, just because we had the same name and same jersey.
And that is the only reason,
I have
because
an idea. Just go to the next team that he hasn't been on and make a custom jersey.
And there's not too many teams. Well, he's on way halfway
he's
through
been everywhere from Golden State, Lakers, the Clippers now twice, Orlando, 49ers, the 76ers. Was he with Phoenix? I don't know if he was with Phoenix. I know he's with the Knicks. He was with Philly. He was with Philly twice.
He wasn't with Phoenix.
There we go.
Well, that
So
may
the
be
audience
his next
is
one.
with
So I think
Phoenix.
he does it. I think he has a pattern. He kind of moves back and forth. East and west,
East and West. Well, when you trade somebody, little known fact, most times when you are traded, a West team is not going to trade to a West team. A West team likes to trade to the East because they're in different conferences. When you see a player move from West to West, such as Matt Barnes just did, it is because he was not traded, but he was a free agent listed, and he went and he tried out, and the Clippers picked him up. It is not a trade situation. It's literally your contract is up. We are done with you. Go find someplace else to be. You're on your own. So that is Matt Barnes, and that is now Tracy McGrady, and that's what is hard for me to swallow. That is what T-Mac is doing. He is living his year to year, trying to find a place to be. It's like the TO of the NBA. It's just crazy. So that's hard for me. That's hard to swallow. But can't wait for NBA season to start. And on top of that, once NBA season starts, you know what that means? That means NBA Fantasy League. And that is my league. That is where I rock. That's where I shine. And I love my NBA Fantasy League, and I can't wait to get that up and running. So all you guys who joined us for our NFL Fantasy League, I know I've gotten some people like, I am not an NBA person, I'm NFL. So that means I get a whole new group of people, a whole new group of people for NBA, and that's fascinating for me. So along with NBA season is going to come the development of the other station that we're going to be on. I am a basketball expert, so I've been asked to talk about basketball over and over and over and over again. It will be like my all basketball all the time league, and I can't wait for that. So we will see you guys next week. Actually, we will see you tomorrow when we see what this man is wearing. Come and catch him in his Dallas jersey, because guess what? Chicago, you going down. So, and I can't wait to see Charles in his Dallas jersey. And anybody else who takes us up on that bet, go ahead and post that to our Facebook and our Twitter. Real Women Love Sports. This is Tiffany.
It's Matt.
And we're out.